So the next box is done. This came out really well. There's maple handles, 1/4-inch box joint, and the colors on this are really interesting for the sides. The bottom is just a piece of plywood. But yeah, so the maple handles. Oops. There is a tray inside. You can see it has the cool grain on the handle. And for the lid, I once again did the stripes. So there's an oak trim on it. Let's see if I can get it in the picture. There we go. Oak trim on it, and then an oak edge. And what I believe, I finally figured out that this yellow that I used in the last lid and this lid is yellowheart. I'm still not sure what the brown is. It might be walnut or something. Yellowheart, rosewood, yellowheart. We'll call it walnut, yellowheart, oak. But it came out really nice. If I don't get that one light in, it sure is really cool. I still haven't figured out the lights yet, or at least such that I don't get lots of reflections. When it works, it works. Yeah, the lid's really cool. And then inside, oops, that's very noisy. We have a nice little oak tray, again with plywood bottom and box joint corners. And then on the inside of the box, we have, well, as long as I don't get in the light, there's rails, and you can see the bottom. So this box is, with the lid on, it's I think 9 3/4 or 9 7/8 tall, and it's, the main portion is 14 inches wide, with like an inch or so for each handle. And for the handles, you can kinda, well, you might be able to see, this was a piece of scrap that Steve gave me, and it's a right angle at the top, but it's a sharper angle here, so it's more than 90 degrees. So that means when you grab it, your hand gets a nice little purchase on the handle piece. So that works out really cool. And this wood, I think, for the sides, was from a kid's bed. These were slats that I glued together. And because it's softer than oak, well, one, just the frame itself with all the sides, even though it's 3/4 of an inch thick, it's around just over 2 pounds, like 2.5 pounds for the whole thing. So it's a very light box, which is nice because the person who's getting it wanted to use it for having his kids hold it and take it off the shelf. But the other thing, because this is lighter, I put an oak edging along the bottom, so that way the wear surface on the bottom, well, other than the fact that I also put rubber stops on, the wear surface, if the rubber stops come off, is oak, and then the softer wood, and then on the top, where's a good angle for that? Kind of see there. So there's a thin strip of oak on the top surface, and then there's a thin strip of oak on this side surface where the lid will wear. It's not on this corner, so I'm hoping that's going to be alright, but the biggest wear surfaces are the side of this piece where the lid will rest against and rub against, the very top and the bottom. And then the rails, of course, are also oak. That way the oak on oak from the tray should wear well. The box, everything should wear well. Now the one cool thing that I also figured out, because I believe that this, well, one, there's a really cool website, Wood, identifying and using hundreds of wood worldwide. There's a really good website that this book was based off of, because I noticed by accident that this side wood glows in blacklight. And I believe, based on the when I looked up fluorescent woods, it showed up Avodire. So that, based on that picture, looks like this box. And this is supposed to glow a yellowish green in blacklight. And it actually does. Without turning the lights off, you can see there's a glowing strip here and a glowing strip there, and if we tilt the box down and make it a little darker inside, let's see, what's the best way to get it to do that? I think that way. No, that didn't actually do it. Where's a good way to... Can I get it to glow on the inside of the box? Oh, I have to just use the black light. Nope, that one's in the way. Anyway, if we set this down and not mess up the box, you can see as I run the black light down. Well, let's move that one out of the way. So there's the box, and as the black light comes down, you see colors show up. There we go. So, non-black light, black light. Let's see if we'll show up inside. Yeah, so the inside also shows up. Interestingly enough, the main side piece has the stripe and a bunch of colors up in. The bottom, or I should say the ends, due to the boards that I used, mostly just has this stripe at the bottom. Let's see if I can get it closer. So there's the wood, and then the black light. And I initially thought, oh, it must be in this lighter area, but no, it's something in the darker wood, and it's in the end grain. Let's see if I can get it. But yeah, there's the side. See, that's, no, there we go. And there's, it lights up, which I think is really cool. Yeah, there we go. Because that was kind of unexpected, like very much so. I have not run into that before on a project, but that's actually really cool. And I believe that what helped me figure out that this is most likely yellowheart is they say yellowheart also has like a uniform yellowish glow, and you can kind of see it goes from yellow and then there's like a yellowish glow. So that's how I think that's actually yellowheart. So it turns out two of the woods, there's not a ton of woods out there that do that, but two of the woods that I accidentally used or intentionally used but didn't realize, two of the woods actually glow. So that ends up being really cool. And the one thing with this, because of course the fit works better some ways than others, there's a fraction, this is a fraction easier to take off. You can see, let's see if I get here without the glare, there's two little darker spots like where branches were on here. And then on the box itself, I don't know if it'll come in the camera, but this side's more of a greenish oak, this side's more of a lighter oak. If you put the two little branch pieces on the green side, it comes off, well, it holds but it comes off fairly easily. If you put it the other way, it will still go on, but it's easier to come off one way or the other. So it works both ways, so I don't have to say, hey, put it on this way, but it does come off slightly better in one direction versus the other. So, but yeah, this lid came out really nice, and you can definitely see the colors. And the colors come out for the rosewood come out much better in person. Let's see if I can block that light. Nope. There we go. That's, yeah. And again, this yellowheart has those weird little light colored pieces that only show up at certain angles and doesn't show up well on camera, but shows up pretty good in person. But there's like little light streaks down through that it works really well. So anyway, that's the next box. It came out really nice. I think Dylan's gonna really like it. The tray works well, slides back and forth. One of the other things I did was, you can see I put little little vinyl bumpers inside. That way, when it does slide and hit, it's not wood on wood. It's still a loud thump, but it's wood on vinyl, which gives slightly better. But yeah, so that's the latest box. It came out really nice, and I put another one of the little badges on in the corner again for the year when it was made. But yeah, it came out really nice. Like I said, the colors on the sides end up being really awesome in person. I don't know with this if it's going to come out, but yeah, the colors and the dark grain, light grain, especially on, again, the sides. There's all sorts of little grain in this top board, especially, that, you know, it comes out really cool. And yeah, so both sides are really nice. And I just used the triple thick polyurethane again to cover that, the Varathane triple thick polyurethane. And that went over it really nicely, so I really like that polyurethane. And because this is softer wood, for all these little corner pieces, because I didn't want them to get dinged too much, I took thin super glue and ran thin super glue in the end grain, and that hardened it up nicely. And then with the polyurethane, that should give these a lot better wear resistance than just the wood by itself. So yeah, but that is the box. Like I said, I think he's really gonna like it because it came out really pretty. But yeah, like I said, it's very light. Considering how big the box is, it's very light. It's probably only about 3 pounds, maybe 3.5, if that. And for a box that size, and that thickness, and most other woods would have been, you know, very much heavier than that. So anyway, that's this box.